Hola y buenos días. Soy el señor Morris. Soy el maestro de español. ¿Cómo están? We'll start off today by reviewing something we've talked about a lot. Remember? El calendario. But I tell you what, first, let's sing our opening song together. Canten conmigo, por favor. Buenos días, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, gracias, muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted? Good morning, how are you? How are you? Very well, I thank you, very well, I thank you. And you, and you. Muy bien. I tell you what now, we've talked about this, remember? And we also talked about something on here called los días de la semana. Los días de la semana. And that should be pretty familiar to you. So I tell you what, let's start by singing the song about los días de la semana. Now, I'll help you sing the first part of the song, but then I want all of you to sing the days of the week when we get to that part, okay? ¿Listos? Hay 7 días en una semana, los vamos a nombrar. Help me out now, guys. Ready? Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. All right. Well, you know, when we talked about the calendar, we also talked about something else other than just the days of the week. We talked about this, los meses del año, the months of the year. And you may remember that most of the months are almost the same in Spanish as they are in English. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and sing the song again about the months of the year. And this one should be pretty familiar also. Enero, febrero, marzo y abril. Mayo y junio y julio también. Agosto, septiembre, octubre ya llegó. Noviembre, diciembre, el año ya acabó. Right. Well, we also said that in addition to dividing the year up into months, we divide it up into 4 seasons based on what the weather is like. I tell you what, let's go ahead and look at the seasons of the year in Spanish right now. This one here, look at that. The rain is coming down. The leaves are starting to come out on the tree. This one is called la primavera. Repitan todos. La primavera. You know what that is, right? Springtime. After that comes this season. Oh, the sun is out. It's hot. These guys must not be going to school. They're out playing around in the yard. Este es el verano. El verano. And what do we call this in English? Summer. That's right, nice and hot. After this one, we have this season. The leaves start to fall off of the trees. Many of us have to start back to school. This season is el otoño. El otoño. Can you say that? El otoño. And this is what we call, in English, fall or autumn, right? And finally, there's this season. Oh, look at the snow is falling out of the sky. The little guy there, he's building a snowman. This season is el invierno. Can you say that? El invierno. And what is this in English? This would be winter. That's right, winter. All right, muy bien. Well, those are the 4 seasons in Spanish. Now, when we talked about the seasons of the year, we said that in one season, the grass starts to turn green and the leaves come out on the trees and the flowers start to bloom. Do you remember what season that was? Let's see. Was that otoño or verano? Or was it primavera? Or was it invierno? What season is it when everything starts to grow and the grass starts to turn green and the leaves start to come out? Do you remember? Raise your hand and tell your teacher. Did you say la primavera? La primavera. That's right. La primavera. Muy bien. Well, that's when things start to grow. That's a good time of the year to be planting things. Now, I want to see if you can tell me, what does a plant need to grow? Can you tell me, or tell you what, tell your teacher in English. Go ahead and raise your hand and tell your teacher right now, what does a plant need to grow? Can you think of that? If you want to put the video on pause while you talk about that for a little while, that'd be fine. Muy bien. Now, did you all say something about, let's see, dirt or soil? Okay, and that's for the roots to grow in, right? That's, we put the little seed down into there and they start to grow. Did you mention water? Of course, plants and seeds need water to grow. Another thing that they need is sunshine. They all need sunshine. So you remember, you have to put the plants out in the window or something so that they'll grow. Did everyone remember to say that plants need air? Because they do. That's right. And we need plants. Well, I tell you what, those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. First of all, this is how we ask the question in Spanish about what a plant needs to grow. ¿Qué necesita la planta para crecer? And you can see, ¿qué necesita? What does it need? La planta, the plant, para, for, crecer, to grow. So what does it need the plant to grow? Or what does a plant need to grow? And these are the same things we talked about in English, but this is how we say them in Spanish now. The first thing we talked about was this. Tierra. Yeah, you need some earth or soil to put the seed into and for the roots to grow into. And in Spanish, this is called la tierra. Can you say that? Tierra. And you see it has that double R there, so you get to roll that R. La tierra. La tierra. Dirt, soil. Another thing that's very important for a plant to grow, remember we put it out in the window so that it'll get this. Comes from up above. El sol. El sol. Can everyone say that? Sol. Sol is the sun. Yeah, and plants need the sun to grow. They use the sun to make their food. But there's something else that they need. They might need this. Lluvia. La lluvia. And you can see this. Here's a big cloud, and it's coming down from the sky. What is that? Rain. La lluvia is rain, right? Well, it could be rain. It could come from the skies from clouds. But what they really need is something, you might get it out of your faucet even, to put onto your plants, and that is el agua. El agua. So it could be rain, la lluvia, or it could just be el agua, from a faucet or something. And the last thing that you might not have thought about it, because it's pretty tricky, that plants need to grow is aire. Aire. That's right. They need air in order to grow. And they take in a certain thing from the air called carbon dioxide, and they put out something called oxygen. And that's what we need to grow. So that's why it's really important to try to keep the plants around and to take care of them. And also, They just look so nice and they smell nice. So that's another good reason to have them around. Ahora, vamos a repasar con estos videos. We're going to see a couple of videos about the parts of the plant and what plant needed to grow. So pongan atención y repitan todos.
La planta. ¿Cuáles son las partes de la planta? La raíz, el tallo, la hoja, el pétalo, la flor. ¿Qué necesita la planta para crecer? El sol, el agua o la lluvia, la tierra, el aire.
Muy bien. Now, those were all of the things that we've been talking about so far. Remember the parts of the plant and what a plant needs to grow. Now, we're going to be doing some things with what a plant needs to grow. So let's make sure that you understand those real clearly. The first thing that we talked about was dirt. And how do we say dirt in Spanish? Do you remember? Do you remember what dirt is? It is la tierra. La tierra. And you see, we've got ours right here in our planting, in our pot, all ready to go. We're going to put some seeds down into there. So you have your seed, and you put it into la tierra. And now we talked about a couple of different things that a plant might need, and it depends on if it's out on a farm or if it's in your house where you get this. Well, we've said that all plants need el agua. Oh, we need to have them out in a window so that they can get this from up above. It's got 3 letters. Do you remember what it's called? El sol. El sol, that's right. And all plants need that to stay alive. So, have you noticed that during the different seasons, like in el invierno, in winter, the sun isn't out as much? And then in la primavera, it starts to come out more. That's one of the reasons why plants seem to grow better in la primavera, in the springtime. Now, a couple of other things that they need. If you have your plants outside, like your yard or some trees, or if there's a farm, they depend on something that comes down from the sky out of the clouds. Rain, that's right. In Spanish, that's called la lluvia. La lluvia. Right. Lluvia, if it's rain. But remember, if the plant is inside your house, it's not going to get lluvia on it. So you're going to have to walk around maybe with a watering can and put this on it. El agua. That's right. There's water inside of here. El agua. You're going to need to put that on your plant too. And then finally, there's one other thing that we talked about. You remember? That plants need, that they take from us carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen. And all of this comes out of el aire. El aire. And you can see that looks kind of like the word air. You see that? Air, aire. Yeah. Well, I know you second graders are probably doing a lot of reading. Now, third graders are doing a lot. First graders, you're probably getting pretty good at reading by now, too. Well, I tell you what, instead of doing an activity sheet today, we're going to do something active. So let's all get arranged to do some more total physical response, or TPR. So teachers, go ahead and get your classes ready so that as many students as possible can participate along with us. See if you guys can do what my students are doing here in the classroom. Ahora, presten atención y participen todos. Muy bien. Let's go ahead and go over our TPR once more. ¿Listos? You guys all ready? ¿Listos? You guys ready?
Listo.
Okay. Párense. Okay. Siéntense. Párense. Okay, let's see. Voltéense. Voltéense. How about this one? Brinquen. Yeah, okay. Basta. Do you remember this one? Caminen. Basta. Voltéense. caminen a la silla. Siéntense en la silla. Párense. Siéntense en el piso. ¿Ok? Y canten. Basta. Párense y siéntense en la silla. Okay. Well, you guys are doing a really good job at TPR. Now, I'd like to tell you all something. Este es mi hijo. This is my son, Jackson, and I'm going to tell him to do something in TPR now. Jackson, dame un beso. There you go. That's all we have to do today, guys. Okay, let's all look over there. Gracias, and let's all look over there and say adios.
I want to go.
Muy bien. Yeah, that was my son. He's a good guy. All of those guys who came in were good. They helped me a lot. I hope that you guys have gotten a chance to practice this, and maybe you get to practice in your classroom sometimes. Another thing that helps is if you take our bulletin board ideas and put them up in the classroom, such as this one that we have here with all of the parts of the plant. And do you remember those parts? Let's see, down here in la tierra, we have this part. The roots in English y en español es la raíz. Can you say that? La raíz. And then when we move up, this is the stalk, right? Or the stem. And in Spanish we call it el tallo. El tallo. Yeah. Then if we look up, we can see this part right here. Yeah. Do you remember what that is? Sure, it's a leaf in English. Y en español la hoja. La hoja. That's right. And if we keep coming up here, coming up to the top of the plant, we see these things, these individual things, and we said that that is called el pétalo. A petal is el pétalo. And then if we talk about the whole thing here, we said that's called la flor. La flor. And this is like the things that we have in the Learning Partner Guidelines. So you guys can take these and blow them up. The students can color them. You can put string like we did, yarn, to identify the different parts. It's a good way to have something nice in the classroom. Let the kids go over the thing a couple more times, right? Well, I tell you what, we covered a lot of new ground today. Get it? New ground? No. Pero es hora de la despedida. Now, next lesson, we're going to start an experiment and make some predictions. Now, you may want to have some beans or seeds for planting. You might want to have some soil and some cups. You can use water cups, or if you have those milk cartons in your cafeteria, you can use those. Remember, you're also going to need water, because that's what plants need. You're going to need sunshine and air. That's pretty easy to find. So you might want to get those things together so that we can use those on our next class. Pero ahora es hora de cantar. So I'd like everyone to sing with me, canten conmigo, la canción de despedida. Adiós, queridos amigos, que les vaya muy, muy bien. Adiós, queridos amigos, y cuídense también. Muy bien, you guys are doing a great job. Remember to keep going over the things and review the things that we've covered during the year, like family and calendar and all of those, and our school things, so that those will remain fresh in your mind. And keep looking at the things about the plant. I'll see you all next time. Until then, adios.